to life that it was called the fifth element.
Lilu Dallas? Multipass?
Its story is as old as the story of life on Earth. It has played a vital role in man's history, his religion, his customs.
I remember New Zealand on the globe.
It has influenced the founding of cities and nations, shaped the fate of empires. The ancient Greeks worshipped it no less than the sun, and Plato called it a substance dear to the gods.
What is the substance dear to the gods?
In order to safeguard it, the Romans constructed one of the greatest military roads of all time. The lack of it brought disaster to Napoleon's legions in the historic retreat from Moscow.
It's like beef jerky? What are we talking about here?
It played an important role in the war between the states.
I don't think that Abraham Lincoln wore a toga.
It is blood.
I mean, he could rock it though.
Orson Welles?
According to mythology, the sky god struck fire into the heavens.
Why would...
A spark from the blaze fell here into the sea, creating the fifth element. Geologists tell us it found its way here,
so green,
deposited by ancient...
Ruby Rod.
This is the white wonder, the element of the ancients. And this is how we know
rock
it's
candy? Oh!
This is salt.
Salt. Oh, yeah.
Nearly as exciting as you try to make it out.
I really thought it was a giant piece of rock candy. I was getting all excited.
Yeah, sugar, white salt.
Yeah. I'll lick sugar anytime. Salt?
True.
Not really.
Thank you, Morton Salt Company, for your propaganda.
Like,
this
was there a time in the 50s when people were not eating salt and they had
the amount you will require
salt?
to meet your everyday needs in a single year. Incredible? Yes. If you think of salt only for the table and cooking. Actually, only 3%, about 6 pounds, is used on your food.
Come on, people! Eat more salt!
About 6 pounds per person each year.
Huh.
Where then does the rest of it go? It touches every part of our lives. In many ways you've never thought about.
Just gets in
How
every
then does it serve us? The rest supplies the growing demands of American industrial and agricultural life.
Sodium
Modern
citrate?
industry,
Sodium
our modern way of life,
salts?
could not exist without it. A noted scientist has said, give a chemist coal, water, lime, sulfur, cellulose, and salt.
And he's having a good time.
And he can perform nearly all the modern miracles in chemistry.
Philosopher's Stone.
To the chemist, salt is sodium chloride. With ordinary chemical processing, 13 vital chemicals are obtained. With electrolysis, salt can be broken down into its 2 elements, sodium and chlorine. And another 21 chemicals can be derived.
How many chemicals are there? Wow.
That's a lot.
Today, salt enters into almost 14,000 different uses.
Complicated.
Let's look at a few. In the clothing you wear,
salt
is used in textile bleaches and dye stuff.
Oh, never knew that.
In medicines. In cosmetics.
Okay, lady, you need to calm down.
In nylons.
I didn't know you could OD on salt just by putting on a pair of
plastics.
shoes.
Newspapers.
Wow.
In matches. Ceramic glazes.
This is really in the salt on your senses.
In photography.
I see what you did there.
Salt helps purify that water. Makes possible the glass from which you drink. Salt is used in paints and lacquers.
Wow, I'm gonna go get some salt right now.
In alloys and bath solutions to obtain lighter and stronger metals.
Why are we not injecting it?
On land,
why are we not even injecting it directly into our veins?
Put it right into my eyes.
In munitions for the defense of America. Salt is in that smokescreen.
I knew salt could kill, but I mean,
here too,
I didn't know literally it would murder you.
Helps these troops avoid heat exhaustion and frustration. Salt. How commonplace it seems. And yet, these tiny white grains represent a fundamental necessity of our existence.
Okay.
No.
Nature made it abundant, but making it available is something else again.
I
It
just wanna
takes
go
time
down
and skill.
Looks like a really good hill for a
There are
sled.
3 methods
Yeah,
of
but if
obtaining
you
this
slip
vital
and get
mineral.
that in your eyes and
First,
stuff,
let's
that's gonna be
examine the
real
oldest.
nasty.
Solar
It's not
evaporation.
gonna be fun.
It's often described as a farming operation, and it begins in the
Under
spring.
the sun, under the board.
You take salt water
all the salt.
and direct it toward great concentrating ponds, where time, wind, sunshine, and careful controls take care of the rest.
You know what this is reminding me of? Remember the movie
Impurities like
Warlock?
calcium sulfate,
And at the
precipitate
end, she
and
goes
settle
and like
out.
buries the book.
the brine
And the salt
becomes
mines.
more and more concentrated.
That's what this is
And when
reminding
tests
me of.
show the brine has reached
Oh,
proper
like
density,
somewhere in there
it is pumped
is a
into
book that
garden
will
ponds.
like bring back the Warlock. And we don't want that.
Month after month,
That was
under
that
constant
movie
supervision,
really freaked me out as a
it
kid.
crystallizes, builds up.
And I saw it a lot.
Then
There's something
comes the
always on
harvest.
TV. I don't know if I want to be eating salt that people have driven on like that.
Just sort of left out.
Yeah,
Look
like
at all the birds that have taken a crap on it.
it can be very hygienic. Like,
Cats have pooped in it too.
ugh. It's gross.
I mean, we could take this footage and just dub over anything at this point.
You could. Like, it looks like snow. It looks like powdered sugar, and it's frozen for me. Oh, there we
That
go.
was for it's fine.
It was.
for everybody else,
That's
okay.
just the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
powdered
salt.
sugar.
Salt is complicated.
Right?
Just moving around.
Like, we don't need this much footage of it moving around.
You get it,
Not
Jordan.
really.
You get it.
Your,
Get it?
your job is just to push salt around a crater.
Yeah.
Good job.
Alright,
Maybe
good job, yeah.
maybe to push it around. What you gonna do, you know?
Nope, we need still more footage just to make sure that you know exactly how it works. We're going to show it to you again from a different angle. That's exactly what happened. There it goes.
Sounds like a really inefficient way to like carry it though. It's
On
just
it
carrying a
goes to
little
the
bitch at
washing
a time
shed
up
and further processing. Salt, for table use for example, must be rebrined and evaporated in vacuum pans. Other grades, after drying, screening, and packing,
Oh,
may
lost some.
eventually find their way into
That comes out of his
atomic
hair,
energy.
Oh!
Oh, damn.
Or here. For salt plays an important part in the agricultural life of America too. Not
Salted
only for
beef.
its own essential properties, but as the logical
Gotta really
carrier
rub it
for
in
vital
and
trace
toss it
elements.
fresh.
Iodine, copper, cobalt, manganese,
No, we don't
iron,
have to do it.
zinc, and other minerals which may have been leached from the soil, hence are lacking from pasturage and grains. Minute amounts
But they're
of
not
those
part of
trace
salt.
minerals are added here, in these salt blocks
Hey.
and salt bricks. And in loose salt, the color indicating which minerals have been added to replace local deficiencies.
No, licking the salt.
And because salt is required
tasty.
daily, it's the ideal
does,
medium by
look
which
like
to assure
candy.
that farm animals get their full quota of
Now we're
trace
gonna be
minerals
starting
regularly.
The salt black lick challenge.
Poultry
Is that a new
has an
thing?
unusually
Yeah,
heavy
let's do
demand
that.
for manganese
Salt
and
Lake
other
Challenge.
minerals for purposes of early growth and egg production. Here again,
How
the
many licks does
necessary
it
minerals are best
me to get to
introduced
the center
through
of Salt
salt
Lake?
mixed with feed. Trace mineralized salt,
There's a Tootsie Roll Pop in the
resulting
middle.
in stronger, healthier animals.
I was gonna say it's
More
probably a
and
piece of
better
beef
foods
jerky.
for the table, assuring the farmer of a higher return
Well, maybe
from
the brown
every
one may
feed
have the
dollar.
beef jerky.
The importance of salt to our nation's food supply
The
is
yellow
well
one was,
illustrated
teriyaki.
here.
She's holding that book way too
There
close
is
to
salt
the
for baking.
range. Like
A
one
well-stocked cupboard, wouldn't
jolt
you
of her
say?
knee, and that's going
But
up in flames.
take away those products that require salt,
Where'd you need the
and
salt
let's see
for?
what would remain.
Daddy, oyster crackers. Ah!
What happened? They're all
Man has
dead.
invented a host of seasonings. Ketchup, mustard, chili sauce, Tabasco, mayonnaise, French dressing, Thousand Island, many others. Each
Those are
requires
really
its quota of
nasty.
salt.
Most of the things you're not going to have on the counter there either.
Salt
They're in the
for
fridge, aren't
peanuts
they?
I mean,
Or
I keep my
potato
ketchup
chips.
in the fridge and my
for
honey
pretzels
mustard.
and candy.
Are you a wizard?
Candy!
No.
Salt
A
for
wizard did
cereal,
it!
flour,
Everybody get him!
olive, pickles,
No.
jams
No.
and jelly,
No.
No!
baby food,
This music is way too
Spaghetti,
cheaper for
macaroni,
dissipating food.
noodles, salt
This is-
for Rover's biscuits,
Ass, this is
And
tragedy. Why do we have
salt
the
for
Johnson
food
music
candy.
going on in the
Convinced us. The
background?
best things in life have salt, okay? We're paying attention.
Do you see? Do you see now how much you need
salt
salt?
for dairy
Those
products. And since poultry and livestock need their
Take away
quota
my
of salt
cheese.
regularly, salt
No
for
salt.
the fisheries, salt for the meat packers.
Ooh.
Salt goes into the making of
Hot
plastics and
dogs.
aluminum foil too. Paper
No
cartons,
salt.
glass.
The entire
And since
universe
it
wouldn't
entered into
exist
the
if it weren't for
manufacture of
salt.
the refrigerator itself,
Ah!
salt for refrigeration,
It's only gotten
making it
really
possible
real,
for us
okay?
to obtain fresh meats,
I'm
vegetables,
making fun of
and
this,
fruit
but I'm paying attention
all year
now,
round.
okay?
Jeez,
Salt
I'm scared
enters into many
actually.
household uses
I'm
too.
scared that they're gonna come and take away
Simple
all my
time
things because
saving
I don't
uses.
eat enough salt.
A
Do you
thin
like
paste
fruit?
of
No
salt
fruit
and
without
salad
salt.
oil removes marks on furniture
Wait, what?
made by hot
What?
dishes.
Really?
Wouldn't you have to clean that again afterwards?
When enamel turns
You're gonna
yellow,
leave a layer of salt
a
on.
solution of salt and turpentine rubbed on restores whiteness.
Wouldn't it just be the turpentine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A paste of salt and vinegar may be used to clean tarnished brass and copper.
Well, yeah, if you want to scuff marks.
Wouldn't baking soda be better?
Sprinkling salt on
Be a
carpets
little
and
bit less
rugs
abrasive.
not only helps destroy moths, but brightens the colors as it
What?
cleans. Clothespins will
What?
not stick
No.
to clothes in cold weather if they are soaked in brine for a few hours.
I never heard that.
Rough spots on an iron disappear
Okay.
like magic when the iron is rubbed back and forth over dry salt.
And this is how we keep the evil
To
spirits
clean
away.
grease from the bottom
You
of
have,
an
to, you have to
oven,
do it in a circle.
salt is
before
poured
you
over
do it.
soiled
It's the
spots
circle
while
that
heat
really
is
will
still
get
on. When grease is dried, salt is removed with a stiff brush.
it. Again, you're gonna scuff it all the way.
Ordinary table salt may be used as a decorative aid too in arranging artificial flowers.
Grandma's urn!
First, salt is poured into the vase.
That's such
Okay,
a waste of
then-
salt.
Okay, that's just a
though.
giant waste of salt. Yeah.
When the
No.
salt dries, it
That
solidifies
little can's
and pulls the
expensive.
flowers in
Yeah,
a
they
permanent
are.
arrangement.
Oh, you know those pictures, those red pictures? They had to recall them because they were full of radium. Look it up, it's true.
Yeah, wow. So basically
Hard
they're
water
saying if you put
oftentimes
salt
means
in your water
hardship
with
for
your
people
plants,
who
it'll
have to
stay
use it.
fresh.
Years ago, grandmother caught
I
dark
kind of
rainwater
knew
in a
that, but he
barrel.
used way more than I
Used it for
do.
special
That's a lot of
household
salt.
purposes
Desiccation
because it
there.
was relatively soft. And so was the water she obtained from the cistern. But this water was hard. It
What?
came from the well, and that made all the difference. As rainwater falls toward Earth,
I
it picks
actually
up some
prefer hard
carbon
water.
minerals and other impurities that turn it to a dark color when collected.
Please, how
grandmother's
quickly
rain
everything
barrel, for
mixes
example.
if it's hard water.
However, it is still soft water.
Stand there waiting
But what
for it
happens to
freaking
this soft
rinse.
rainwater when it reaches the earth? It seeps through the ground or runs off into streams and rivers. And in doing so,
Dirty.
picks up calcium, magnesium, and perhaps iron and manganese,
Right into the
earth
lava.
minerals that make it hard. These minerals
We're
tend
gonna
to solidify
poison every
under
last ounce of it.
and form a scale on any vessel
Somebody
containing
poison the
water,
water hole
be it in the tea
with
kettle
salt.
or in the steam boiler of a modern factory. This scale decreases
Wow.
the efficiency of the boiler and must be removed or prevented.
Nope.
When used for laundering or
I'm gonna
other
look
washing
through
purposes,
it with my
hard
unprotected
water
eye.
develops a scum known as hard water curd.
How is the machine
Makes
still
washing
going
more
with the lid
difficult.
on top? Lid
Requires
open
more
like
soap.
that.
You can
Mine
push
does-
the little button and like get it to keep
Though
going.
hardness of water varies in different regions of our country, a
using
large
too much
portion
salt
of the
here.
United States
So much
has
salt.
hard water, as you can see. The darker areas indicating harder water.
Wait, I can't tell.
Again,
I think it's
we
the
are
pink
indebted to
areas.
salt for helping
That's
us
fine.
change
It's
hard
nice how,
water to soft.
Washington and Oregon, it's all
In the home,
confined to,
In the factory,
to
salt
the
is the
lines
key
of
to our
states.
soft water
You know,
supply.
I have a free kit that Home Depot gave me
Salt
like
pellets
3
in this
years
appliance
ago,
help
like
turn
to
hard
test
water
my water
to
to see if
soft,
it's hard or soft. And I've
making
never
washing
used it, and I
easier,
found it today. I was
faster,
cleaning my
more
board-
economical.
my bathroom.
Soft
How do I do
water
it?
is also vital to many
You should.
industries.
That could be
And
another
salt
Bronwyn
makes it
Does
possible to
Stuff
provide the
Patreon
tremendous
exclusive
quantities
video.
needed at the
Yes,
lowest
yes.
possible cost.
Yesterday's went so well.
How
Now we're just
fortunate we
dating
would be
ourselves.
if salt were everywhere close at hand on the surface of the earth.
Discuss about flying, but
But
paying
it
attention to
isn't.
salt now.
So man must search,
That was salt related.
find it elsewhere. In some cases,
See about this.
deep in the earth. Here, 700 feet underground, you are
Isn't there,
literally
like, a
surrounded
salt
by
mine
salt.
like
The
explosion
pillars,
that
the ceiling,
it
floor,
collapsed and flooded a
all
whole area.
solid salt.
Probably.
From
yeah.
thick
I think
beds
I've heard
like
something
this,
about
from
In
great salt
Louisiana, like, you made like
domes,
a
you can
giant
mine it as you would mine
wormhole,
coal.
and, not wormhole.
But it is
Yes,
always
a wormhole.
clean and
Not a
comfortable down
wormhole.
here.
You know what I
Or-
mean?
And the
Suck
temperature
everything
all year
in.
round
The
is like that of a
the
clear
time travel
October
there.
day.
no, when like the water,
Giant
it made like a
pillars
hole in
support the roof of the
in the
mined
lake
out
and
area.
just like sucked everything
These, for
down
example,
and
are
trees and
approximately
boats
80
and
by
stuff. And,
100
like,
I
feet.
remember
As
that.
exciting as a woman.
The mining
well, you
operation
know what I
begins,
mean.
and the face of
I'll
the
have to look
salt
it up.
wall is drilled for dynamite charges.
Are we gonna see every single detail of this too?
Yep.
Shouldn't they be
The
wearing like
undercutting
protection
machine
or
now
something?
moves
They're
in.
gonna be working with
Cuts
dynamite.
a gap
He has
across
a
the
helmet.
bottom of the section that is to be mined. Blasting powder is now tamped into the drilled holes and prepared for firing.
Well, if you fire it, how is it going to work? Here's your severance package. Fire.
This is the least exciting use of dynamite I've ever seen.
Alright, all clear.
Opa!
It's actually kind of cool.
And then when they breathe it in, everyone chokes it out.
Yeah, they're not wearing any breathing masks.
Well, if you fell into that, oh man.
That can't be good. Do they all have white lungs? You know how like coal miners get black lungs?
I bet. Yeah.
They're actually breathing beef jerky.
Sure, I bet their insides are already beef jerky.
We come back from eating the salt, we have to bring it home or else we die.
Some run-of-the-mine
say
salt
their,
is sent
their
directly
workers
to
are well
industrial
seasoned.
users with no refinement. For other
Salt
uses,
must
it must
flow.
go through further processing steps, some simple, some complex, before it is ready to be shipped to serve America in a multitude of ways.
That
For
one time I
instance,
got a
in
piece
winter,
of asphalt in
snow
my
is
eye
great
and all,
for
I had to go to
sledding
the
and
emergency
skiing.
room for 5
But
hours
if workers,
until they get
trucks,
it out.
and
It
shoppers
was
are
about the size of a
snowbound,
salt.
the economic
What?
loss can run into millions of dollars per minute. Not to
It's no
mention the
joke getting
toll
stuff
in
your
human
eye.
suffering if doctors,
Now, are they
ambulances,
See,
police,
it looks like
and
they're
fire
driving on
equipment
salt,
were
but
to
no,
be
they're not.
immobilized.
It's just badly
It's a
lit.
world of salt.
Salt, with its
I'm just
fast
amazed
melting
that-
characteristics,
Back then,
is
that
the most
people still didn't
effective
clean
and
off their
economical
stupid cars
material
so
to
they
clear
could see where
thoroughfares.
they were going.
Oh no.
Nope.
As shown in this simplified demonstration,
The salt's
its
for.
action penetrates and quickly perforates
All the
ice and
trees along the
snow
side of the road are gonna
and loosens
die.
the bond at the surface of the pavement, leaves roads open and
Cares?
safe.
Makes it delicious.
Come on, kids, let's lick the road.
In fact, all year round, Salt plays
Okay,
a
we get it.
prominent part in serving the rolling wheels
there's
of
some
commerce,
more.
industry, and agriculture.
There's always more
For
salt.
instance, in the
I
building of
ended like 10
roadways,
minutes ago.
it serves in a number of soil stabilization uses. Let's see just how. The soil in each of these containers is exactly the same, with one exception.
Exactly.
We put
Salt
glue in this
has
one.
been added to this one. Salt binds the soil, furnishes an excellent subbase
Soil?
for concrete and asphalt highways and city streets,
Gravel.
produces better,
Yeah, it's a really
harder,
screwed up soil.
longer-lasting rural roads at less cost per taxpayer
Which isn't
dollar.
soil.
Wouldn't it be better to...
Now you begin to understand why
Soil
methods
which would
and machines
immediately
are
melt as soon as
constantly
it
being
rains and
improved
fall
and
apart.
extended
Yeah.
to keep pace with the constantly increasing demand for more and more of this
explains
vital commodity. The third method developed for salt recovery is drilling. By a stretch of the imagination, you might describe this hydraulic process as mining by pipeline. More than half of our total salt supply is produced by this method. Fresh water is pumped through pipes into the well, and the resulting saturated brine is then forced up, creating a high-quality product that finds its way to your tables and into many other uses.
This we use for our turkeys at Thanksgiving.
The brine, pumped up from the well, goes into these large settling tanks. Chemicals remove impurities.
What
Oh, it
chemical?
removes
The purified brine
impurities.
moves on into
Right.
airtight evaporators called vacuum pans. Salt crystals form, sink to the bottom of the cone.
Ugh, doesn't look tasty.
A rotary dryer takes the wet salt and reduces the moisture to less than 1%. Last moisture is removed in this great kiln, where the salt is tumbled and baked.
Imagine the smell of that place.
Yeah.
After cooling,
Yeah,
dry salt
Must be
emerges,
hell on sinuses.
moves on its way
Yeah.
to be screened and graded. Different sizes for different uses.
Let's just auger this baby in.
As it goes through a series of screenings so that the crystals of different sizes can go into their proper bins, let's follow the salt you're most familiar with. The perfect crystalline
Yes,
cubes of pure table salt.
Hmm.
Here are the uniform crystals for table
I
salt.
don't want some salt that some guy's taught. I mean, he's dropping it. He's gonna throw some
Each
behind
salt
his left
cube is given a
shoulder.
coating to make certain
That's
it will be
not
Burn
free
safe.
down
flowing,
any moment.
so that when it rains, it
Touching
pours.
the salt, touching all the salt with his dirty hands. I don't know where
A
they've been.
seemingly simple operation, this. But how
Look at the
important it is to
iodine.
produce iodized salt. A minute amount
there you
of
go.
an iodide ingredient is added to prevent simple goiter.
I was
Yeah.
kidding, Short. I was kidding.
That was very
To protect the
gratuitous.
free-running
You didn't have to wait
qualities,
that long?
to assist in preventing the loss of iodines, each can is made up of several plies of paper with an asphalt impregnation between. In addition, the label has been lacquered so that it too will form a moisture barrier.
Paved the things.
You make some bucks. What is my purpose? You
Here
make
in this
boxes
modern research
of salt.
laboratory,
Oh
the
God.
first in history devoted to that simple substance salt, skilled technicians are looking to the future,
Yes, this is the first
constantly
place in
seeking
history
new uses of salt to
discovering
benefit
salt,
mankind.
In thousands of years
Salt,
of history, we've never
From tiny
studied
soft
salt.
water pellets to
Nope.
100-pound bags,
It's too
made in
complicated
100
for
different
early
kinds
man.
and grades.
You need
Serving
a
agriculture,
sophisticated touch.
serving the
Or
rolling
19
wheels
late
of transportation,
50s Scientist.
the food
Yeah, that's
industry,
the fail thing.
Voice actor.
salt for canning, salt for the fisheries, salt for the meat packers, salt
Salt
for
for
whole
the
meat
gamers.
curing, and for many household uses.
Salt for the lovers.
Salt.
Salt for the haters.
The pure white crystals of sodium chloride, serving the wonderful world of chemistry.
It's like the
Without
triumph
this
of the
essential
salt.
mineral, such vital and useful products as these would not be possible. Synthetic rubber, plastics, textile bleaches and dye stuffs, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, paints and
Literally
varnishes,
in every substance on the planet.
fire
Everything has salt
extinguishing
in it.
fluid,
He's literally
Everything.
gonna name everything.
salt,
There
strategic
wasn't too much
materials,
salt.
vital to our
Everything.
national defense. A compound of sodium and lead, for example, becomes part of the tetraethyl lead so important to high-octane aviation gasoline. Sodium
Why they're
from
assault
salt
jets.
helps obtain lighter, stronger metals. Gears of military machinery undergo terrific strain. These gears are case-hardened in a bath solution of sodium cyanide to give them the necessary toughness. Salt
Don't
in
lick 'em.
explosives.
You take a licking and keep on ticking.
Salt,
Lullaby,
essential in
no!
munitions.
Salt kills.
In the peaceful use of atomic energy for power.
Too much salt? Too much salt!
For our future defense in the coming space age. Salt, serving America.
We will bring salt to
And
the
her need for
stars.
it has more than doubled since World
We'll
War
find
II.
another planet that has
Due
all the
largely to
salt.
the tremendous growth of our chemical industry. But salt has kept pace
That's why
with
we
our
have to
changing
invade
needs,
the salt.
and it always will. If you want a dash of salt for your food, if you want carloads, as an individual, or as a community, or as one of the 60 major industries
Please
depending
buy all
on
this
this
salt! We have
vital
so much
mineral,
salt!
no
Wow.
matter where you are, rest assured
Like
that
a
you can
salt
have
on the
exactly
entire
what you
country.
want, when
I pretty much
and
figured
where
that out
you
like
need
20
it.
minutes ago. We didn't need this
Salt
whole
from the
thing.
solar pond,
How is this not
salt
over yet?
from the well,
You know,
Talking.
salt
I never knew they
from
had
the
salt
mine.
porn, but you know,
Wow.
here it is.
No matter where you live, where you work,
Wow.
there will be salt, often unseen, unrecognized, but there to serve you and yours with the indispensable crystals of life.
Sleep well, children.
Wow. She's spilling all that salt, but I guess it doesn't matter because
Don't care. Make it rain! Salt.
making it rain salt. So that was experience.
Salt.
Alright then, here we go. White Wonder 1958 from the Prelinger archives.
Ooh.
'Cause
Do you
that's what
like
they
those
do.
Prelinger archives?
Once you pop, you just can't stop.
Do you have to? Do you have to let it Prelinger? We've made that joke before. We have made that joke before.
And it's still funny.
It's
still
always
funny.
so funny. Yep.
Okay. Here we
It'll never
go.
be old.